The cloud recording.
Today is Chodesh Adar. Adar is very, I want to say Adar is Adar. So I'm not so good in English because I just went to grade 5. But you could understand if something I don't know, somebody's going to translate. So Adar is an allusion from Chodesh, strong, because Humam was thinking that Chodesh is his Chodesh. He looked all the months and he figured out this one because Moshe Rabbi passed away in Adar. So he knew Humam was very a big clipper. So he knew the Kreuzkat from Moshe Rabbi. If he passed away in Adar, so this is a good Chodesh for us. We could do something for the Jewish nation, for the Bnei Yisrael. But Mura says he didn't know that Moshe Rabbeinu also was born in Adar. It's not just he passed away. What is the kavuna from that was born? Because even when a tzaddik goes away, it doesn't go away. His koyach is still here. When a tzaddik is born in this world and he got his life, when he ends his life, it doesn't end. It starts because the koyach from a tzaddik is every time here. Moshe Rabbeinu was the big tzaddik, and Hashem chose them. He should give the Torah for the Klal Yisrael, and his koyach is still. It's not that when a tzaddik does in this world, the kedusha and the koyach stays. This woman didn't know this. So at the end, it came out that Adar is the biggest Chodesh, one of the biggest Chodesh for us. We have such a big Yom Tov here that here was a Kabbalah Torah fresh. When Hashem gave the Torah, it stands in Medrash that even the Bnei Yisrael said Nasa v'Nishma this week in the Seder Mishputim, by the Sof Seder. But even though Hashem had to put the Sinai, and he said if they would not be Makabel the Torah, he would put the hill on them, because there's much cautious questions why he had to put the hill. They said Nasa v'Nishma, but Nasa v'Nishma in Medrash Tanchima says that they said Nasa v'Nishma Torah shebeksav. Torah shebal peh, this is much harder. Torah shebeksav is just 5 Dreishes Shemaz v'Ikra. Torah shebal peh, it's no end, and every time what the Chachumim add for the mitzvahs, Torah shebeksav is 630 mitzvahs, but all of them, what the Chachumim and all this was very. So this Hashem made with the hill. They had to say yes with Makabel, but it was not with roots. It was balkon. But like enforced, they didn't have no choice. But when it came by Purim, and they saw what Mordechai and Esther did for them, in the beginning they were very mad at Mordechai. Everybody, Human said, everybody has to, how do you say, bend for him. He was a clipper, and he wanted everybody should be bent for the clipper. Mordechai, he said no. He was the only set. Mordechai lo yichra v'lo yishtachva. This is the tzaddik. He knows. He never give up, and he was not just a tzaddik for himself. He said we shouldn't go to the Seder from Achashverosh. Achashverosh made a big Seder, a big feast. And he gave koshers. It was with the bezin from the Adar, the Hechsher. But even though Mordechai said the Jewish people shouldn't go, because you don't have to go with a Seder with a goy. And because when a goy sits down to eat, doesn't go out good things from this. You shouldn't. A Jewish person has to be separated from the goy. We are a Am Chodesh. We are a holy nation. A Jewish person is another thing. So the much people of the Jewish nation, they were mad at Mordechai. Why he makes these things? Everything, we don't do this, we're not allowed to do this. I don't make so much desires. But at the end, when it came the desire from Haman, everything was already fixed. All the letters were sent out. This day, all the Goyim could do with the Jewish nation what they want. But the end, Mordechai didn't give up. He made a tamas. He said we should fast. Like this, the Jewish nation had a yeshia. Then they saw what a tzaddik is. And this is all the time from the tzaddikim. Every time they wanted to do for the Bnei Yisrael the best. And sometimes you don't see it in the beginning, but at the end, we see it. This is every time. So we got a very big Yom Tov Purim. Purim is in Spurim they say it's like Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a big day. It's the holiest day. People are in the shul the whole day. They fast. Purim is the same. It's much more. It's a Yom Kippur. Yom Chodesh is like Purim. Purim is much more. So we got such a big day, such a big Yom Tov, that the opposite that Haman wanted. He was thinking the Chodesh Adar is his, but it's ours. Today, even somebody has a mishpat, a court or something, should make it an Udar. Udar is our Chodesh. It's a mitzvah, a Chodesh. The same thing goes on. How the tzaddikim, he wanted every time the best. Yeah. Heilige Tzaddik Reb Nachman, he says there's a cipher from him in Tisch Saram. And the first Sikha in Tisch Saram is on a pusik, there's a pusik, Ani Yidati Ikigudel Hashem. So he speaks about that every person has a time that he feels Hashem. It's not every time the same. And he can't tell this for another one. He feels it. Because every Jewish person has a neshama. And the neshama is a elekis. It's a chalik eleka. And this doesn't have a goy. A goy has a gift. But a yid has a neshama, a heilige neshama. It comes from Hashem. It's chalik eleka. And this is why every Jewish person has times that he could feel Hashem. And every time is the avoider from a person is every time he should be connected. He should try to connect and to remember every time there were good days for me. I heard a story about, it was in Muncie, by us. There was a boy. He came from very, the family was going through, they were divorced, the father and the mother. So the children didn't have a house. So the boy went down of the derech. he went away in the Far East. He went down from the there, but it came to a time that he was thinking. Sometimes people think on the other side is the grass greener, and they try it out. After a time, they see it's not what he was thinking, and they get very broke. So he got very broke. So somebody told them there's a therapist. It was some in the Far East. So he went to the therapist. So the therapist asked him, could you remember maybe something about in your life you had a good time? Maybe you could remember. He was trying to remember. He said, I can't remember. Never. He had very hard time from his childhood. But the therapist didn't give up. He asked him, go home, come back tomorrow. Maybe it was a few days after he reminded himself. I used to go to my father on Shabbos. I had very good feeling. I was feeling very good. Shabbos, I was feeling Amayit. But he didn't talk to his father a few years already. Because he went away from his father, he went another day. So he asked him, maybe if this was a good day for you, maybe you try, maybe you call your father, you talk to him, maybe you could make another Shabbos with him.
Yeah.
He said, never. I didn't talk to him years. It went back and forth. He was standing on this, maybe try with your father. So the boy saw he doesn't have anyways, no choice. He's gonna try. He called up his father. His father was so happy, and he asked him, oh, I didn't hear your voice so long. What could I help you? He said, maybe I could come on Shabbos to go to be with you. He said, for sure. I'm going to wait you by the airport. I'm going to do everything for you. And he came. It was very a short time. He got back to his whole life. He was broken. He went to Israel, to a yeshiva from Balachivas. Today he married, he put up a nice family. This is every time, a person every time has good days in his life. But the Yetzer Hara, he just brings for the person every time the bad things, the bad days, and everything is wrong. And he likes to break a person. This is his avoider for the Yetzer Hara. But every individual person has an avoider the opposite. Every time to find the good things. This is the Rabbi says in the Torah from Azamru and Kaboidi, that every person has good things. Every person makes every day good things. And he has failures also. So when he would recognize the good things and live with this, the bad things would get lesser and lesser. And he would have a Chaim Tovim, because he would be b'simcha. When somebody has a few stores and he earns big money, and one store doesn't go so good, he loses money. It's it bothers him, but it doesn't take away his simcha. He looks in his account. The bottom line is every week it goes so much from the other business, it goes up. So even he has one or two that loses, he's still very happy. And with the time, if he's going to continue, he's going to settle the other, what is failures also. This same is with a person. Hashem waits. There was a big sage. It was the Heilige Yismach Moshe. He was first on Snagget. After he got son-in-law who was a big chussid from the Heilige Chodesh from Lublin. So he convinced them to come to the Chodesh. And he was holding very much from this son-in-law. He was a big person. When he took him for a son-in-law, he was a divorced person because the first shidduch from his son-in-law that had, it was not matchy. He was another, she didn't want such a life. He was a holy man and she couldn't. So Yismach Moshe had an only daughter and he had to give a big nadin. How you say nadin?
Dowry.
Yeah, dowry. And he didn't have. So he told for his Rebbetzin, his wife, he gave her, she had a golden crown. She should sell the golden crown and we should, from this money, we give the nadin and we're going to take him for a son-in-law. So the Rebbetzin, his wife said, we have such a wonderful daughter. Why should we take a divorced man? He said, he told her a story. And it's very a big limit, you could learn much from this story. There was once a person who went in his field. He was with his cow. And he found some, it looked like small bundlach, like small beans. He was bringing it home. And he started to cook it. It didn't get soft. He cooked it again, it didn't get soft. So next day, he had a shukun, a neighbor, and he told him the story. This neighbor was a little more clever than he. He said, let me see this beans. He saw this is not beans. This is diamond. He told him, look, I think so. I have a way how to cook this. You give it for me. I'm going to give you a piece. You could cook it at once. And he made.
Figured out how to cook it.
Yeah, and he took it. So the Yismach Moshe told for his rabbits and for his wife, if that person was not, he didn't understand this diamond, but I understand that this is a diamond. So it pays to sell the golden and to take him. So he took it. He was a chussid. So he convinced his father-in-law to come to the Heilige Chodesh. When he came to the Chodesh, he had two questions on the Hasidim. First, they're every time happy. Why they're besimcha? We don't have a besimikdash, and we have to control. Yeah, be sad about the besimikdash. The other thing, there's a saying in Medrash in Chazal, Abulatar, if someone wants to be good, he wants to do tshiva, Messiah knows he has help. So the Messiah is a much.
Plural.
What?
Plural, many.
Plural. What is this plural? It has to stand Messiah. Hashem helps. Why is Messiah? He had these two questions. When he came to the Chodesh, to the Heilige Chodesh, without asking nothing, the Chodesh told them up front, he told them, the Chodesh Alvua says, a chussid, every time he is besimcha. Inside, he knows that we don't have a besimikdash, and he throws, how you say, he's sad about it. Yeah. But outside is every time the same. Second thing I want to tell you, why there stands Messiah Noisa, because Messiah means much people, much things helps them. The tzaddikim help them. The tzaddikim that are not here and they were doing this. Or someone wants to do a mitzvah. he wants to do tshiva, he wants to do a mitzvah. He has much helpers because much tzaddikim, they did this. They come and they come to help him. They help him. So this is a person when he wants to be. So you have to be b'simcha every time. You have to find good things. When you find good things, what you have, and everybody has. So going back to the example that I said, when someone he earns money, even he loses also, he's still very happy. And with the time he's going to settle. This is a person. Every day a person makes very much tremendous things. If he goes to shul, he puts a talis, he puts the tefillin, he makes the chesed, he has a shir. Every single thing is worth. We can't pay one mitzvah. When someone does a mitzvah, the Chazal say, "Schar b'hai al malaka." This world, we don't pay the mitzvahs. Why? So one reason is you can't pay it. If someone wants to pay you $40 million,
Wow.
40 million people they have, there's still people they have. But when I say a real big money, so even someone would have in this world 70 years the best, everything like a king, it's not paid, even one mitzvah. You can't pay it. This is a mitzvah, and this is emes, what we say now. You can't pay a mitzvah. And there's very much stories about people, one mitzvah, it gave them everything. And this is just one mitzvah. Every person makes much mitzvahs every day. So the emes, he would have to be very besimcha. But the Yetzer Hara doesn't let him, because he knows when someone is besimcha, so he makes more. He tries to make, not just for himself. He tries to tell for other people also. When someone is not besimcha, on Yiddish, they call it as ungesetzt. I call it in English.
I don't know ungesetzt.
Yeah. No, depressed. Yeah. Bats was depressed. Yeah, he's depressed. He doesn't talk to another one, he doesn't talk to himself. He's lost. When someone is besimcha, he tries. He could do tremendous things. We say it's now Rosh Chodesh. Chodesh, we say Baruch Nafshi. In Baruch Nafshi, this is a kapitel in Tehillim. The Melech says all the things what Hashem made in this world, so much things. He starts. He counts everything what Hashem made, all the big things, the stars, the moon, the sun, the yamam, all chayas, everything. In middle the parsha, there's a pusik, Murabi Maseichu Hashem. How big is Hashem's Malu Murabi Maseichu Hashem? Kilam b'chochma usisu. With such a chochma, everything is made. Malu u'uretz kinyonechu. The world is full with Hashem's glory. What Hashem made. After he continues, Zehayom, he starts with the Yam. In the Yam, there's all kinds of animals. Everything what is in the Yabusha, what we have here, it's in the Yam. And he starts, he's not finished. So if he's not finished, how come in middle, he says, Murabi Maseichu Hashem. He had it to end, and by the end, he says, such a big thing what Hashem made. So the Heilige Maggid, the Mezritcher Maggid said that David HaMelech, when he started to count what Hashem made, in middle, he got so nisragish.
He had such a feeling.
He couldn't wait till the end. He said, Murabi Maseichu Hashem, Kilam B'chach Mosisu. He gave a scream. And after he continued, but he couldn't wait till the end. And this is be'emes, when someone would take his good deeds that he makes, he would dance every day. You know, they asked once a Breslov why they dance after the daven. He said the question is not why we dance after the daven, why we don't dance the whole day. So at least after daven we make a dance. We should give out a little our simcha that we were very be'emes b'simcha. And this is the emes. All other things is schmonzes. It's not true. This is the emes that a Yiddish person, and we should know that's why the Goyim, they're jealous of us. They don't know. They say we're the richest. It's true. They mean with money. We're the richest. We have things much more than money. Much, much more. It's worth billions. Even Trump doesn't have this money.
Hi, Trump.
Every Jewish person has so much. And Hashem helps. We have a family, we have children. If not, we're going to have. If one is not still married, he's going to get married. He has to ask Hashem. He wants to put up a Jewish family. He wants to have children. He wants to put, we have to have Chayulam Hashem, soldiers. It's not enough I'm a soldier. I have to see it should be more. Hashem should have more. This is the whole life for a Jewish person. When he lives like this, he's every time happy. He has so much to do. Like a big businessman. You see him every time he's busy. He has to be a Jewish person. Every time busy. He has what to do. He learns. He makes a chesed. He talks to a chaver, to a friend. He's a mechazek. This is big things. The Rabbi says in Sichas Olam, a person, he talks very much from simcha. So he says one of the reasons why simcha is a big thing, someone who is besimcha, he could make besimcha another one. To make besimcha another Jewish person is a big thing. So that's the biggest, one of the thing that simcha is big. Because if you are besimcha, you could make another one besimcha. You could tell him a good word. I remind myself a story. There was a very nice family, and they had one child, but he was not mitzliach. He went away, and it was not good with him. His father was a wealthy man who took mechancham. All kinds of people, they should talk with him. Maybe he should come back. It didn't help. After a few years, he came back. It was an occasion that his father asked him, tell me the truth. Who of the people who talked to you was bringing you back? He said for his father, none of them, what you said. So how did you come back? I'll tell you, I was walking once on the street and I was going not on a good place. And I met in the middle of the way a rabbi. He knew me. He gave me shulam and he took me and said, shh, I didn't see you so long. I told him, Rabbi, when you would know where I am, you wouldn't hug me. You wouldn't ask me. And the rabbi told me, no, I don't care where you are, I love you. I know you from long. I know you have such good things. And he said again, and the rabbi said again. And he said, and Hashem still loves you so much and he waits for you. For me. And he didn't give up. He said again, I'm telling you, this is the truth. Hashem waits on you and he loves you. And by the end, he gave me a kiss, and he shook me the hand and he went away. First thing, I didn't go where I wanted to go. I turned out. From that day, I turned over. Because somebody gave me just the hint that I have good things and Hashem still wants me. Oh, he wants me. Then when somebody wants, then he shows. Because every person has good things, not stam. The Rabbi says in Torah Yitzon in the Kita Maran that the Eibishter Hashem says barimtzach mitzpuar. How you say this in English?
It's proud.
Hashem is proud from every Jewish person, even someone has pious, and it turns just with the pious. And we see today even people that they're a little schwach, and still they have pious. It's this is the style, but it's a good style. They have the pious. It's a good thing. This is a good thing. A mikveh, everything. So somebody goes to mikveh, he goes in the shower. What's the difference? But he goes in the mikveh. It's a good thing. He goes in the mikveh. Mikveh is a big thing. This is what we have. We have to be machazik ourselves with this. Talk about this. Learn about this. And we wake up. This wakes up the person. Then he lives. The Rabbi says you could live a chaim tovim. The Rabbi Supir Masias, very much, he says, much of the masses, they live the chaim tovim. What is a chaim tovim? You live as a yid. This is the echte chaim tovim. The other is not a chaim tovim. Come on, Islam. In the beginning, you think it's a chaim tovim, but I'll tell another story. And with this, we're going to be after we're going to sing. Don't be don't be tired. Wow. Take a seat. You're going to hear. We're starting a story. In the 60s, in the 70s, there was a big movement in America about the hippies. Today, we don't hear from them too much. But in that days, for 50 years ago, it was a big movement. So there was a child from 17 years, 18 years. He didn't come from a religious family, but he was a yid. He came one day to his parents. He said that I'm going along with a whole group. They went like behemoths.
Animals.
Yeah, like animals. A behemoth is cows.
Domestic animals.
A whole bunch of them.
Cattle.
Yeah. He took like the old days, a torba, like a school bag in the back, and they went out. They slept where they found, they ate what they found, they didn't wash, they didn't shave with the long hair. This was a
big madriga back then.
No, they took it like, we could live like this. Why we have to have a
We're
home?
free. We're free.
Yeah, free from Africa. We don't have to work. We don't. And that's the best. That was their love. This is the best. But like everything, the first few months, it's very. But after, like everything, what's not the MS. But so after a few months, it got very bad, and he was very broken. He didn't even have already what to eat, no money. He used to go to the restaurants in the back by the garbage to find something to eat. But by the end, he ended by Texas. I don't know which state he was. He ended by Texas. He was going on the street. He was broken. He didn't know nothing what to do. And walking on the street, he saw a sign like a menorah. So he knew this is a shul. He figured I'm going to go in. He went in. He came. He didn't still know how a shul. He was never in a shul. So it was the woman's shul. It was a small room. There was a sink. He went first to the sink. He was drinking. He didn't drink so long. He was washing himself, his face. He sat down and he was thinking maybe there was a bench. He didn't sleep already on a bench. How long? He slept down on the bench. After a while, he heard people are arguing. arguing themselves. It was not a machloikas, but and he couldn't sleep. So he stood up and he looked down. It's from the woman's shul. He saw there's a big room downstairs. It was the shul. There was a table. Somebody sits by everybody has a book, and they're arguing on something. And he hears that there was a rabbi who he said something from the Gemara, from the book, and on this they were arguing. And he said it again. Somebody said something. He said it again. He heard the word. It clinked to him, and he said, "I have to know what is this word that they're arguing so much on this." He was not lazy. He went down and went straight to the table. The rabbi was so in the thing, he didn't even recognize him. After a few minutes, he saw him. He said, "What could I help you? Rabbi, could you please explain me, what is this, what you said?" He said it over from the Gemara. Rabbi said, "Look, I could explain this for you, but not now. I'm in the middle to give a shiur here. You sit down and decide, and after I finish, I'll take." He was thinking the Rabbi just want to push him up. So he said, "I swear by God, I'm not going to go out from this room till you're going to tell me what does this means." The Rabbi said, "Please, I'm going to tell you. Just have a little patience." Okay, he sat down and he finished the shiur. So the Rabbi told him, "Look, to explain you these words, what I said, I need 3 weeks, and I'm ready for it. Every day, I'm going to learn with you 2 hours. I'm going to make you a bed in the woman's shul." And that's what he did. He took down his hair. He gave him new clothes. He washed himself. And he was bringing him to eat every day. And he was learning with him. After a few weeks, he knew what this means. And he went from there to Israel, to a yeshiva. This person put up a nice family, and he finished Rosh Shas. When he was 60 years, he went to the rabbi where he lived, and he told him the story from where he is. What is his background? He told him this whole story, that after the few weeks he got to know what this is. He went to a yeshiva, and he got to be a Baal Shiva, and the rest is history. And now, Baruch Hashem, I put up a nice family. I finished Rav Shas, everything from a Shira Gemura. This is the lightning of one Shira. One line of the Gemura, what could make with a person. He just heard this, gave a flash to him, and from there it went. This is nothing in the world, the cleverest persons and the biggest chachmas can't make what a line of the Gemara could make. Why? Because this is, and the kiss, it's
godliness.
Yeah, it's holy things. And the neshama from a person is also holy. So it connects, and it burns them up. And he could do tremendous things. Now we sing a nice name.
Shira.
Lios
b'simcha, lios b'simcha. Amen.
The Rabbi is speaking about Simcha, and one of the questions that my Talmidim have all the time is, when we're with you, we feel besimcha, but when we're home, and our parents are not supportive, and our friends think that we're crazy for wanting to learn and to pray, and we live in New York City, and everything is about mammon. And it's hard for them, they tell me, to keep that simcha when everything in the world around them is not that. So I wanted to know maybe the Rabbi could speak to how, no matter what's going on and no matter where he lives, that he can stay true to this simcha, that he shouldn't feel bad about being happy, and that he should have what to hold on to.
There's a mushal that the Rebbe said just today. I just saw this mushal. The Rebbe told her how is a mushal.
It's a story, a parable.
Yeah. There was once a king. He had a consultant who was a astrologer. So he was in his consultant. So he told for the king, this year I see who is going to eat from the bread, everything that is made from the wheat, they're going to get crazy. They're going to get Mashiach. So the king asked him, so what's the idea? Wow, what are we going to do? So he said, look, if we're not going to eat, then everybody is going to eat. So everybody is going to say we're Mashiach. Because everybody who eats is going to have one mind, and we don't eat. So he said for the king, I think we should also eat. And we should make a Simon. I'm going to make a Simon on my
forehead.
Sign on the forehead.
On the head here. And you also. So a mark. So when I'm going to look on you, you're going to look at me, we're going to know that we are Mashiach. At least we're going to know we're Mashiach. But if we're not going to eat, so we're going to be the Mashiach. Like this, we're going to be like everybody. But we're going to know that we're Mashiach. That's the difference. The kings told them, no, this is not a good idea. Because everybody is Mashiach. We also have to be Mashiach to eat. We shouldn't eat. We're going to be normal. Everybody is going to say that we are Mashiach. We're going to make the mark, and I'm going to see on you and you on me that we're not Mashiach. We should know that we are the MSD. A person has to know that Torah with mitzvahs, if a Jewish person doesn't do it, he's Mashiach. Because he came down for this world just for this. No, a goy doesn't have what to do on this world. Eat, drink, make money, more money he could, and go on vacation every few weeks of vacation, or the Chaga, something, and that's the whole enjoy life. If you can do this, you know, when we go on the Washington Bridge, there's a big why? Because people threw themselves in the water. If something doesn't go like they want, it's finished. But a Jewish person is not. It's the opposite. He came here for another thing. Ganzen. He came here for the Torah with the mitzvahs. He has to have money. He has to eat, to sleep. But this is just small things. The main thing he came is for the Torah with the mitzvahs. Everything what has to do with this. Hashem gave us 630 mitzvahs. For the Goyim, he gave 7 mitzvahs. Even this they don't hold. We hold 630 mitzvahs. This is huge. And every mitzvah, there's still the Rebunah. So we have what to do. We have to be very happy. And if you're surrounded with people that they're not in this, you have to know that you're not the Michiganer. You're the normal. You're the normal. You have to be very happy. You're rich. Never, they are poor. Maybe they have money, but money doesn't make rich. There's much. Someone told me once, you have $1 there?
Yeah.
He told me very honest because it's very honest. He said today, this is just $1. Let's say I have 100 or 1,000. He said, what? This is a paper. So why people want this? It's a paper. Because the government said you could buy with this something. Oh, this is a chashivus. You could buy. This is just a paper. But they figured out, they sat down the whole, this is worth, you could buy this and this. If you have 100, you could buy it also. Then it has something. So the whole thing is because you could buy something. So a Jewish person, every day he does things that he buys, tremendous things. When he makes a mitzvah, he bought something. So the money is not so much worth than this because the whole chashivas I could buy. So if I have the merchandise, so I have the asset that the whole money is just worth because I could buy it, and I have it. So a person has to know this. So then he could be amstik b'simcha. And I won't say it's not a challenge. Rabbi says, "Echat hoya avrom." This is this world's challenge. Someone when he goes to war, he's gonna complain. Well, there's a war. That's why you're here. You're a soldier, and this is now your duty to defend the country. We are here, soldiers in a war. Sometimes the war is not so. There's every time a war, but sometimes it's very hard. It's a big challenge. But this is what Hashem sent us here for the challenges, and we go through. Hashem helps every time. It comes days that it's better. And, Hashem is going to help you. He's going to come on another place where he's going to be between people that do the same thing. He's going to have to. Now it's a challenge. It's not forever. This is what someone has to remember. Nothing is forever. Now it's hard. People were in Sibir. How did they get through? They knew it's not forever. It's for a time. Hashem will help you when you go out. You have to pray. Put up alone a nice family. Move in a place there is other boys that like are you. And like this, it's going to be, Bez Hashem. This is the answer.
Ashreinu Matok Hakeinu Rabbi Ashreinu Matok Hakeinu Rabbi Rosh Rabbi, check this out. I got a new playlist, all abreast of it. Oh, man, I'm talking about that. Another few weeks. I'm sorry. I never knew that he was in. I never knew him. Rabbi not for me breast. Can't for me.
We got a serious meal coming out. I overfilled myself with bread.
Yes.
Very upset.
Yes.
But she'll get over it as soon as she's on the beach.
How's the cake go?
You go in the shower, I just don't want to go on the beach, but I want to go.
Okay, just I texted her that.
Guys, why can't you just be present? Forget telling anybody anything right now.
Rabbi,
Enjoy the moment.
That way you make her don't make her feel like you don't want to be with her. But you also like tell her what's up.
I texted her. I'm like, yes, I would love to go. I said, I would love to go. He took the phone straight from me. He's like, with a bad sign. I'm like, what are you doing? Thank you so much for being here.
I moved here 3 years ago in this neighborhood. I have a picture of Tasha at home for whatever reason. And a couple of days ago, 3 years I had this picture hanging. A couple of days ago, the picture fell. And a couple of days later, he sends me a picture of Tasha Rabbi's son-in-law. You should know that, huh? For whatever reason.
No, it's brand new phone. Rabbi, I needed this. Did I need that slap of the towel?
You need more than slap the towel, yeah. You need it from Ashkenazi, not from Sephardi. You need that sweet love.
It's not that sweet if you come to my house.
That's what I'm saying. By the way, everything you said happened to me today. And
That's exact, Rabbi. That was like deja vu over there. He was talking about marriage and then like my situation.
Is intertwined.
And my friend called me during the class. You heard my phone ring during the class. That was my friend. He called me twice. He's like, don't you dare. He's like, don't you dare ask me to hook up. I'm like, how do you know about that? I'm like, yo, I'm bugging. How the hell do they know? I mean, I don't tell them anything.
Yeah.
Rabbi, I have to go speak on the phone a little bit outside.
Just because I have money.
I'm coming right back. Like 2 minutes.
The phones, bro. I have so much sympathy here. This one asked me if going to do so, guys, want to do something. So fun.
No, I was here. My father's side from Ukraine. I didn't know until after it became custody. My mother's side is from Kansas. Only my grandfather. Only my grandfather. Very strong. He was a manufacturer's representative between businesses and stores. He was in between. But he got sick. What? 10 years ago. Very sick. So the left side of his body doesn't work. So he, yeah. Baruch Hashem, I got him. Still in this past, I forget what it was. I literally was on the phone, my dad crying. I said, I know it doesn't mean anything to you. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I beg you to give me so much comfort. So just put this on once every day. Very fulfilling. Hashem. Even though he can't move the left side of his body, he does it himself. My mother's still. Amen. The students of the Toshe Rabbi, they learn everything, or they have a specific chassidus that they connect the most to. You connect to Rabbi Nachman. Is it just you, or it's
much connected to the Kabbalah. His grandfather, father-in-law, his grandfather, Mike, was a Talmud. His mother. So we have a connection.
you have his Torah, you learn his Torah. No, and yeah.
The hele good. Like what? Can I say what's out of cameras? Sure. I have a question. I want to ask maybe a question, not question. I don't know. No, it's there in Indian. A lot of people have this question, especially here. Do you want to ask it for him? Indian of Tzaddik Emes. It's key. Like right now, why? Ask him. Can you ask him? Say there's a couple of students.
Rabbi, a lot of my Talmidim, they feel very connected to Rabbi Nachman. They feel for the first time that they have a Munah, they do Torah, they learn Torah, Yom V'Layla, like they're mamash amazing. But they hear from a lot of people, even very, very chashuv, dati, that it's not normal, it's not the way, Hashem doesn't want this. Some people even say Avodah Zarah. Yeah, so I know that you know it's not, but I just for my students, they should feel comfortable to know that this is very, very kosher. And just to say, why is there a tzaddik emet? You know, why is there such a concept of tzaddik yesod olam? Do we need a tzaddik for Hashem? Why can't we just connect to Hashem? Just so they can feel comfortable that they're really doing the greatest thing in the world. They should feel so good about it.
This is one of the Bilbilim.
Confusions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It doesn't want because it knows when you have a tzaddik and you're connected to it, you live another life. You live another life. And you need a tzaddik. For sure. This is a very big thing, very big. You get big lightness from this in your whole life.
But the Rebbe, they say that he's not physically here anymore.
That doesn't, we just
I know.
Woman was saying this. He's not here and that's it. Finished.
Is there a concept from Rav Nachman that there is a tzaddik emek that's alive today? Because there's such an Indian that.
Verse says there has to be tzaddik.
100%.
Sure.
But is there a tzaddik emet that's alive today? The
No,
Gufay Imam.
There's tzaddikus. We don't know exactly. The world can't stay without 36 tzaddikus. Sometimes they're hiding, sometimes they're. It doesn't have to be they're just like a push at a mensch. It could be. Yeah. But this is for sure the tzaddikim that they passed. They could still be alive. It's like alive. If you learn them and you connect it to them, it's like they're real. You know, when even the Baal Shem Tov Chodesh was alive, even you were still near him, it doesn't mean nothing. If you didn't learn his Torah and go with his eitzes, it doesn't mean nothing. Even his Dalatamas, near a tzaddik. If you connect it and you do, you be mekayim the eitzes, then even he's not here. His koyach is here. This is for sure. We see this fall in the Kitaluchas.
It's like the Lubavitch Rebbe. He's not here, but his teachings
The
are
Rebbe
alive.
said that without the Nusen, there will not be one page. He understood this. He gave away his life for this. People should know. And that's because of Nusen we have today a Rebbe. Without he was long forgotten. Who would know that somewhere in Ukraine and Oman and somewhere. We can't explain this. Why there's 50,000 people? Where we see such a thing? This is just because it's alive. This will be alive. You can't have such things. You can't fool Yiddish Kinder. Never. You can't fool them. Goyim you could fool. A Yid you can't fool. You could fool one, two. You can't fool. There's a saying from one of the presidents, I think so Lincoln, he said, you could fool some people all the time. Right. You could fool all the people sometime. You can't fool all the people all the time. Yesh chochma b'goyim. So, this is Amos. This is Amos. The Gemara says on Hillel said, "In ein Neviah, benai Neviah." The Jewish nation knows the field. What's true, what's not true. It's a koich from a tzaddik emes. It's tremendous. People have the minna, people have the whole Yiddishkeit. He's his friend Rabbi. They learn his stories. This gives them a minute. They should believe in Hashem, believe in the Torah, believe in Tzaddik. And like this, they go all the challenges. There's big challenges in this world. You have to have big koiches. You should be able to stand up again. Even when you have failures. When Hashem created the world, the Meluchim, the angels, told for Hashem why He makes the people. They're going to do sins. They're not going to obey the Torah. Hashem says, I know. Even though they could do Tshiva. Tshiva was, before the world was created, Tshiva was already here. Because Hashem knew that people make mistakes. So He makes such things, He should be able to make Tshiva. The whole Purim was from Tshiva. What is beyond? That's the quote from the Yid. You know, in the highway, there's U-turns. Just for emergencies. You can't use it. But for emergencies, yeah, but the person has to make sometimes a U-turn. It turns out, I'm going back.
First time, he said, well, I wanted to go get like this really nice car my whole life. When I went there, I saw how happy they were. I came back and he said, no, it's just a normal car. It's okay. He wants a bracha. Yeah.
Could have just asked me. I would have
With a
chosen.
bench and ask if anyone would like to meet privately to meet in the back room. On the bench now.
Sometimes you have to make U-turns. Sometimes you have to pay the toll twice. Sometimes you pay late fees.
What's your name? Zing Shiramalis. You start. Sagila for the host.
Amen.
Amen.
Any song.
That one's a good one.
Anybody have it?
Okay, make us Friday night.
Yeah, sorry, make it good. The cyanide, I want to know. No. For the bench.
Replace in the bench.
No, kein Witz, es ist Mama Chroin. Pura Zertoi.
Mein Achron.
Shemaim.
Herzer boys, hi, wir wollen Menschen. Schein mal doine bewoira, mir tu ja doila, schis mir una, boys, gut dabei eine so galne mischle. Gut dabei eine so galne mischle. Die war kuni. Gaat wat doina. Hi, me, leila boys.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ha'el zanu ve'tanu kula v'tova v'echim v'chesed v'rachim Rabbeinu notenu tzedakah le'olam chesdo ביום ראש חודש כזה הולכים בו עלינו חושים שכן אדון עלינו בודות הבקודים בודות וגם הולכים בודות החנדורים בינוי שרחמים חושים עלינו וכמה רגעים עלינו בודקים כי הם בלחנם רחמתה אני הקודש ירקים רבי אמינו רוחתנו בוננו ותנאים
חודש זה לטובה ברכה.
כס של הברוך.
אמונה שלמה.
סגילה, סגילה.
נפתח מחנה, כל אחד יכולים בעיר, פי הכל.
Great. Three. Nothing.
I already said a bracha on wine. I'll say it again, right?
Yeah, you don't need to. Did you bench?
I bet it is. Hold on, what's the picture? כושר ברכה.
שירות עשו השם אדוני יקרא סבר בנאדם ברוך אתה אדוני מרעונום בורא רגל
מוישה.
כושר עשו השם אדוני יקרא.
Give me.
כס של הברוך.
Simcha anyway. It's an interesting night, huh?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. La